Hi, this is Mark from Wiki. So since we've launched our new website, we received a few questions on how we were able to make it load so fast. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to get this 100% performance score just using one really simple free plugin. There's no hacks, there's no code snippets or anything like that. I'm just going to show you how I like to set things up because I've been doing this for many, many years and I've tried everything. And I have one perfect solution and that's all I'm going to be using moving forward. So let me show you exactly how I have everything set up. So I definitely really hate fluff inside of YouTube videos. So this is the exact plugin I have right here. It's just called Cache Enabler. So all this is going to do is just basically take a screenshot of all of your HTML code and then just cache it on your server, and that's it. It's not doing any sort of fancy tricks or anything like that. So once you have that plugin installed and activated, just head over into settings and then it's under Cache Enabler. And then this is exactly how I have everything set up. All I did was just basically enable all of these clearing options and I just made this to 0. You can, change this out to however many hours you want before it just automatically will expire. But I found that this is a really good setup. I don't have any minify or anything like that. And then what's good about this plugin is if there are pages that you do need to exclude, you would just get the ID of that page and just put it in right here. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. There's, like I said, there's no code hacking. There's nothing like that. So I will tell you that I do have a decent server. So you could have all of the caching in the world, right? If you don't have a good server, none of this is going to matter. So I'll show you exactly the server that I use for all of our client websites and this website. So this is the only hosting company that I've been using for about a decade now. So almost 10 years. I've been 100% on known host. They are the best hosting platform I've ever used. And what I'm using is the managed VPS hosting, and I'm on this server right here, the premium VPS. So I'm able to host this website and all of our client websites very comfortably on this. And then I can always upgrade to the extreme. And then from there, I can go to dedicated. But right now, I'm just on the premium VPS server. And then the one add-on that I do have for our server is I have Lightspeed enabled. So I have this one right here, Web Host Essential. When I enabled that, it really sped up everything. So everything on the back end of these WordPress websites are lightning fast. It's able to grab stuff a lot faster than like the Apache servers or anything like that. So you may be asking, why am I not using this plugin right here? So for a while, I was using this Lightspeed cache plugin. But if you install this and you activate it, it is so overwhelming and a lot of it's not necessary. So if I just scroll down here, you're going to see there's all of these different things. You can minify, you can combine. As soon as I started playing around with this, it didn't make that much of a difference. And honestly, with Elementor and their latest versions, they're caching a lot of stuff on their end too. So I was actually kind of running into a lot of conflicts because when you start to do multiple layers of caching, you could run into nightmares. So that's why I only use this plugin now, this Cache Enabler. I don't need anything else. So let's do a few more tests on the front end and I'll show you how you can get the 100 score, why sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. So let's jump into an incognito window and just kind of play around. And so now let's jump over into a page that I have, something big like the video. I have an autoplay video on our new website. So let's go over into your console. So if you hit F12 inside of Chrome, a lot of people don't know this, but Lighthouse is right inside of here. So this is what is called like Google PageSpeed Insights. This is the one tool I like to use. And then I like to just do all of my measuring for how fast websites are just in the browser. I got tired of using online tools like GTmetrix and all of that. They're not needed. I'm just, the more I'm doing this in my life, I want things to be simple. So just open this up inside of your browser, go to Lighthouse, and let's start with desktop, and let's see the home page. So even with a video playing on the home page automatically, it's still going to get a really high score. Look at this, 98 on desktop. And then if you scroll down, it will show you, some things. And of course, the problem is video. So even with a video playing on desktop, and like I said, all I have is that one plugin installed. There's no hacks. So I'm not doing anything weird like NitroPack. Now, if I click plus and you go to mobile, you're going to get a lower score. So anytime that you have images on the page, videos especially, you're going to get a little bit of a lower score. So I have an 84, which is still pretty good for a video. So one thing that a lot of people don't quite understand is the mobile scores, you're probably never going to get like 100 on a on a regular website in most cases. And that is, if I scroll down here, do you see where my mouse is where it says slow 4G throttling? Basically what mobile's doing is it's simulating what a mobile phone on like a 4G network would load. So of course, go out in the real world and you use your phone at a 4G, websites just load slower. So that's why you don't get the hundreds. So there's like this weird obsession with people wanted to get 100 on the mobile. So now let's go to another page that doesn't have a video but does have images or something like that. So if I go to our contact page and do the desktop, hit analyze, I should be getting like a 99. So like I said, once you start to have images on the page, you might not get the 100. So the way I was able to get the hundreds are basically on pages that don't have any images. So if you go to like your privacy policy page or anything like that, that's where you're going to get 100, maybe even on mobile. So let's go ahead and try that. So let's go to privacy policy, click the plus. Let's go to mobile. I probably won't get 100. I'll probably get in the high 90s, 99. Let's see, 92. So even a page as simple as just like text inside of here, yours is going to get like a 92. So I am using the latest version of Elementor. I'm using all their caching and everything. So even best case scenario on mobile, you're going to get in the 90s. So the pages that do get a very, very high score, like basically 100, is when you have a page like this, like your privacy policy, where you don't have any images up in the top section or anything like that. So if you run the same test on a page that doesn't have, images or anything a little bit heavier, you should be able to get like 100 just using this plugin and if you have a good server. So that's how I was able to get the fireworks and all that. So I just wanted to make this video and show that without any sort of hacking or anything like that or paid plugins, you can achieve this. And so the way I like to measure my speed now is if you go over into your network, let me clear this page right here. If you just click this tab network right here and hit reload page, this is how I like to see how fast pages load. So if you look down here in the bottom corner where it says finish, you can see that this page only took 430 milliseconds. And then when you scroll down, it will load up any additional assets, but it loaded up everything on that page. So if you go into something like your homepage, and what I like to do is go up here, clear the network. I'll hit reload again, and then you can see that the homepage loads very fast too. The homepage is loading in 499 milliseconds, and then it was loading up like some previews. So it finished at 583 milliseconds. And then when you scroll down, you're going to see it should grow a little bit because it's loading up these like extra thumbnails and everything. But that's how I like to measure how fast websites load. That's why I don't like using tools anymore like GT Metrics I used to use, but they all went paid. It got expensive. I just use Chrome. It just makes your life so much easier. So I'll just do one more quick test. Go to the About page, reload this, and that loads in 460 milliseconds. So there's no magic number of how long a website should take to load, but I like to make a website load in under a second or two. And you can see even if you do it correctly, even with a video on the homepage, you can make things load in like under a second. And then if you want to make sure that your page is being cached by this plugin, what you could do is right click, go to view page source. So if you scroll down to the page, bottom of the page, and you look for this tag right here, cache enabler, that's how you can verify that this is serving up the static version of that page. So now I'm going to jump over into the FTP of the server, and I'm going to show you where these files get stored, and you can kind of verify where things are. So here we are inside of your FTP, and if you navigate over into your WP content folder, there's this folder right here called cache. So once you open that up, you're going to see another folder called Cache Enabler. So this is where it's saving all of your cached files, which is basically just HTML pages. So once you jump into that, they should have your domain. And then you can see these are all of the pages that have been cached. So as you can see, we have a whole bunch of like blog posts, and like this one, for example, is just called contact. So that's our contact page. So if I open that up, that's what's being served out is this HTML page, which is what I just showed you. So once you're done with like updating any sort of pages and it clears the cache, what it's going to do is clear out all of these pages again and just start from scratch. And then anytime someone visits one of these pages, it's going to automatically create this folder for you. So I just wanted to show you that that's where the cache files are living. So that's how you can go ahead and troubleshoot anything like that. So if I scroll down here, you see we have like hundreds of pages. And the very bottom one, this is your regular like home page. So this one is called index.html. That's like your normal home page right there. And then everything else are like sub pages, but they put them into folders. So that's all I wanted to share in this video, was exactly the caching setup I use these days. Like I said, I've been down all of those rabbit holes and have code snippets everywhere and all these different hacks. It doesn't matter. Like even this score, it's all fancy, it's 100, who cares? As long as it loads very fast in about a second or two, all of these numbers are just kind of like vanity numbers, but it is kind of cool to see the fireworks and, oh, look, I did the perfect score. So if that's really important, you need to show that to clients. That's how you can pull it off, is pages that don't have a lot of images. If you need that perfect score, that's how you're going to get it. So as soon as you start to add any images or videos, it might ding in a little bit. And then I don't have any analytics codes on here or anything like that. So yeah, if you throw on something like the Facebook pixel or something like that, that might ding at like 25 points. So I don't use a lot of analytics tools, and if you are having issues and you're not getting like high scores, a lot of times it's because you have all of these extra files loaded in there. Then that's when you're going to have to maybe start to get creative and delay those and all that fancy stuff. But I just wanted to show that using Elementor these days, good server, that's it. That's all you need. I'm done trying to deal with all these different plugins and everything. So that's it. Hopefully this video was helpful. Again, this was Mark from Wiki.